Spanish conmigo. Welcome back to my channel. Valid. Okay, guys, you know, Jose is in another country. Okay, it's in otro país. And en esta hora tiene problemas con internet. So it's possible, he may disconnect. I have to come back. So if that happens, I guess I'll just talk about myself and we'll continue. Now, this issue is I know I wanted to talk about Sarah, but I cannot remember what my problem was. Do you remember? Do you remember?
Basically because of the grammatical way, okay? The grammatical meaning. But it means that when you use ser, you need to know what you really want to express because remember that it has two different translations or meanings in Spanish, okay? It could be ser as it could be estar, but in English it's only one verb.
Mm-hmm.
Ser is the verb that we use basically for essential characteristics and permanent states.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what you need to keep in mind. When to use it? When I'm going to describe. Okay, when I'm going to talk about essential characteristics of the things or people, person that you want to talk about. It's,
I
it's
know
an
that.
irregular verb. Uh
Mm-hmm.
huh. It is an irregular verb, so the conjugation is learned by heart.
You know, it might be a spelling issue too. It might be a spelling issue because I know, like present tense, es sido. I'm not thinking about sido at all until that one time. The one time I might have to use it, and you like sido, and I'm like, and I'm not even thinking about it, sido. So I'm not sure of what drill we can do to talk about Sarah or to use Sarah because you know, soy enfermera. I used to say in the beginning of my Spanish journey, I used to say estoy una enfermera because I feel like I'm saying I am, but we was like no, it is part of your personality, is a part of your being that you are a nurse. So it's soy enfermera,
Yeah, what
soy
happened in that
enfermera.
case? There are like some clause, for example, professions.
Mhm.
Professions, they are always with ser.
Mhm.
They always go for match with ser. So it means, for example, in that case, there is a clause. They say, okay, I'm talking about professions. It means that professions match with ser.
Mhm.
And in that case, we don't need, let's say, like a drill because we have that clause.
Yeah, but then you switch back to Estar to say I am nursing because if I'm like, like we say I am working, estoy trabajando. So am I supposed to
Uh-huh.
say, how do you say I'm nursing? Am I using ser? Am I using Estar?
Okay. Okay. We have two things there. One,
Yes.
in Spanish, we don't use nursing. Okay. We just say working.
Oh, we just say working. Okay.
Yeah. We don't say nursing. Okay. We don't say like
So what does it say?
enfermeriando, enfermerar, because that is not a verb for us. Enfermera
Oh,
is a profession and not a verb. Okay.
yes.
And we just put in progressive action verbs.
Mhm.
You know,
Mhm.
starting on the way. The other part is that the rule says that when you talk about progressive tenses, okay, or
Mhm.
progressive tense or
Yes.
form, you need to use the verb estar, okay? In that case, we just need to identify that we are
So
using
that's why
a
we say
different
estoy
form.
siendo. That's why we say estoy siendo.
That's why you say estoy siendo, okay? Because when there is a verb in progressive form, we need to use start,
What
start
sentence?
before
Okay,
it.
what sentence? What am I saying when I say estoy siendo? Give me an example.
I am being,
Yeah, I am being,
rude, for example.
oh, it's, okay, estoy siendo grosera
Grosera,
or grosera.
exacto,
Estoy
exacto,
siendo grosera. Okay, 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 yeah,
exacto.
that's what it is. It's also about context because
Context,
if I'm
exactly.
not grabbing it because, for one, it may be something I don't necessarily use or talk about. It's not something I'm. That's not a way I speak. So if it's not, I don't speak that way in my reality. That one time they like, okay, no, you got to change it. Okay, got it, got it.
Exactly, that
And
is.
that means
Okay?
estuve siendo grosera. I had been feeling rude, or I have been rude. Like
Uh-huh,
yesterday. You know, you know,
uh-huh,
I'd be like estuve siendo a mi madre. So I was rude to. I had been rude to my mom yesterday, right?
uh-huh.
Okay. Oh, okay.
That is the way to make the differences between said and start. You
Mhm.
know, the context. What happened with this in a specific with this particular verb that we are working with today? That is
Mhm.
just to describe. Okay, we describe with this verb. That's why it says that it's for professions, for example, because you are describing what that person does, okay, daily, okay, or that person's occupation.
Yeah.
And when you talk about characteristics, okay, for example, size, okay, sometimes feelings, okay,
Mhm.
sometimes feelings, in those kind of aspects, you need to use the verb said.
The full verb. Just say ser. That's what you're saying. Infinitive. The
Yeah,
full infinitive.
yeah,
Infinitive means the full version of whatever verb you're using.
or whatever
Hablar.
verb you're using. Exactly.
Caminar. The
Of
full.
course, of
Yeah.
course, that it depends of
Depende.
depende de la forma verbal. It depends on the tense.
Okay.
Okay, according to the tense, you conjugate the verb. As I told you
Mhm.
before, ser is a completely irregular verb. Okay, in most of the tenses.
Okay. Basically, you're saying almost like from the beginning. Let me scroll up to present. It, it's all misspelled.
Don't worry.
No, I'm saying it's when I say it's all misspelled. I'm like with hablar, with caminar, with regular verbs. Um, it once you get the pattern, the O I S Amos,
Uh-huh.
or you could add any verb. But with said, because
Mm-hmm.
it's irregular, one of those evil irregular verbs.
Evil irregular verb.
All the words. I see, like everything is misspelled. I mean, everything has its own spell. Like the present tense of stare does not look anything like the future tense or the perfect tense. It's not like you could look at it and say, like with hablar, you at least you give me hablar, hable, hablo. Okay, we're talking about hablar. This thing called stare, like it's like we're gonna, so edit. Then we go back to fuiste, fuimos, fueron, which is the same as ear, which is another bag of nuts that share and ear share, the same words with different that has different meaning. That bowl of nuts. I think we might have to, one day we talk about stare versus ear in regards to that category. But I would need a bridge to jump off of before that conversation, or just in case because that was a crazy. Oh, that was crazy for me. So anyway, what do you? Hey guys, I see we had two people stopping by. Hola,
Hi
Miguel. Welcome
guys.
back to my channel.
Hola.
Learn Spanish conmigo. Jose and I we're having this thing about stare, and I'm to the point that I get in trouble because he expects so much of me. He's like,
I expect what I know that you can do.
see, that's not fair. Not fair. I don't. He's like, I know you know it, and like he'll make me. I don't use my conjugation book. He makes me conjugate it. I'm like, I'm supposed to look it up like everybody else. He's like, do it now. Like, I don't want to do it now. I want to go get my book and look. He's like, do it now. Oh.
Yes. Okay. Going back to what we were talking before for the people who is in. Hi guys. Nice to have you here. So as she said, we are working with the verb there. This is a verb that is commonly difficult for English speakers, okay? For many reasons. One of them is because it's an irregular verb. Of course, its conjugation changes in every tense, in every subject, okay? And apart of that, this is a verb that has the same translation in English than another verb, which is estar. Okay, for both verbs we use the verb to be. Okay, in English, as we were talking before, we always say that we make the differences here, identifying the pragmatical way, or when we say or when we express essential characteristics or locations. Based or focused just on ser, this is a verb used just for essential characteristics and permanent states. Okay? So you can get clause like, for example, talking with professions. With professions, we need to use the verb ser. Okay? Something that it's like an exception or something that changes in English is that for ages, when we talk about ages in English, we use the verb to be, yes, but in Spanish we don't. So don't translate ages using the verb ser, either estar, neither estar. Okay?
Give me an example.
For example, we say I am 24 years old. For example.
Yes. So we don't say.
We don't say yo soy.
Yeah, we don't say yo soy 24.
24 años, for example. Okay? We use another verb. That is one of the exceptions that we have there for English to Spanish. Okay? That we don't use that verb. There are some verbs that are, let's say, or some adjectives that most of the time are difficult for us to know when to use estar and when to use ser. For example, when we talk about feeling sad, happy, boring, okay, or bored, okay, with those kind of adjectives, we can use or we could use ser or estar. But maybe you say, Jose, why or when to use each one according to what you really mean. For example, the class. If the class is boring, okay,
aburrido.
Es aburrido because it's a characteristic of a characteristic of the class.
Right.
Okay. But when you say I am bored, you can say soy aburrido. Pero you need to say estoy aburrido. Okay? Right. I am bored. Sorry, estoy aburrido. Because it's temporary.
Soy, you're saying you are a boring person.
Exactly. You say, I am boring. I am a boring person. Exactly. It's permanent. Okay, when you use it. The same, for example, with sad. I am sad.
Estoy triste.
Estoy triste because it's a temporary stage most of the time. Okay? If you translate it as soy triste.
Oh, okay, soy triste cuando mi hija muere. Soy triste.
Okay, soy triste. You could say soy triste por la muerte de mi hija. You can say that. Okay? But you are not all day long sad or crying.
Right.
So as it is temporary, in any aspect, maybe you could feel that personal thing, that emotion, like for the rest of your life.
It may be a big emotion.
Even though,
a big emotion, it's still a temporary emotion.
It's still a temporary emotion because you are not the entire day crying.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
That's why it's just one moment. Soy feliz or estoy feliz. Both are correct. But when you say, when you consider that it's part of you.
En mi característica. Soy feliz.
En mi característica. Soy una persona feliz. Exacto. Yo soy feliz. Okay? And rich, for example, is a characteristic too. We say, soy rico. I am poor. Soy pobre. Both of us. Both of us.
That's not me, a cup of tea.
Exacto. In those aspects, okay, in those aspects, we need to use the verb ser. Always. Forever and ever. Okay? As I told you, when you say soy alto, bajo, okay, gordo, flaco, you need to use the verb ser. Okay? If not, how can you also...
I was going to say, when I was in Costa Rica, and they used the word gordo, and I was shocked that a woman said, young girl said, soy gordo, I'm fat, and it was like, I'm fat with no judgment. It was no judgment behind it, right? It just,
no.
I guess I feel like every week we say it is what it is, but it is what it is. But it shocked me because, they say facts differently, so it's almost a cultural thing too, because of how people, it becomes like a culture shock because, people were saying, I'm pretty, and with Sarah, right? Not
even with Estar.
Right, estás bonita. I'm used to estás bonita, but it's like sometimes. Eres guapa. Eres bonito. That kind of thing.
Exacto. It's because of that. It's because of that. Because when you want to talk just about that moment, I can tell you, for example, estoy flaco. Right now.
I am skinny. He said, I am skinny.
Yeah. I am skinny. Exactly. But if I am always like this, yo soy, okay? Because it's characteristic. How can you identify when you talk about a star and not adjective? Because it's places.
Because it's what?
Places. When there is a place, after the verb to be, you cannot use ser.
Give me an example.
When there is a location, estoy en casa. I am at home.
Right.
I am in Medellín. Medellín is a place.
So when
there is a location,
I cannot use ser.
Exactly, because you are talking about locations. And ser is not used for locations, even though we have the same to be conjugation. I am in Medellín. I'm happy because I am in Medellín. I'm using I am and I am.
Mhm.
Okay? But one is a characteristic and the other is a place. And when there is a place, you cannot use the verb set.
Mhm.
You need to use the other one, which is the verb estar.
Mhm. Okay.
And that is everything. We can summarize this. That is about. It is about context. Identify the context. Okay?
Mhm.
Identify the context. Identify when you want to describe the person. And if you want to describe the person, always need to use a verb there. And a part of that, learn the conjugation by heart.
Yes.
Unfortunately, irregular verbs, you need to learn them by heart. It is what it is.
Mhm. It is what it is. I think I know. We next week we're going to all this week we've been discussing reflexive. So I think next
Mm-hmm.
week, well, we'll see. Maybe there's a plan to discuss reflexives, but you know, plans change.
Yeah.
Plans change, but like you said, you have the intention. We'll see what happens because he has been torturing me with reflexive, and it's usually topics that I want to bring up is like after the fact, because I got angry about Sarah the other day, so I was like, I want to discuss Sarah. But even though he's been torturing me with reflexes all this week, so I'm probably going to share the pain with you guys sooner or later.
Better later. Okay, and guys, listen to. If this is the first time that you are watching us, subscribe, like, and
Subscribe,
comment.
right?
Yeah,
Yes,
like and
yeah.
comment the videos, okay?
Uh-huh.
And you can write down, you
Mhm.
can write below in the comments, you can write what if you are a Spanish learner or if you want to learn Spanish and you want to talk about any specific topic
Mhm.
that caught your attention, write in
Mhm.
the comments below. Say, I want you to talk about this and we could find something for you too.
Awesome. So anyway, let's head out. Thank you so much. Thank
Thanks
you
so
so
much
much
for
for
inviting me. You know that for me it's a pleasure.
you don't understand. He's determined to pull me over the rope into fluency, and we're doing slowly, 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 poco and poco and poco. We're getting this thing done. So anyway, I love you
Yeah.
guys. I talk to you. I see you guys in a week, or I will see you tomorrow because we are on live tomorrow, 7 p.m. in
Mhm.
Instagram on both our channels. Okay, 7 p.m.
Yeah.
with Spanish Amigo and 7:30 with Connecting Dot Up or Connecting Slash Up. Okay, so Valley. Anyway, besos y abrazos. Love you
Besos y
guys.
abrazos. Love you guys.